Well, by now you have probably heard, or maybe you haven't, but going around the interwebs, apparently Sony, or any other company for that matter, can get into your console or computer or digital database, let's just call it that, and steal something that you have paid for. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you get active in the comments below. I think our voices are the only thing that can potentially stop this thing. We fully intended on filming some video game collection videos today, but then this news dropped about what Sony is doing with Discovery branded shows.
So they put out a few days ago this notice. It says, "Dear PlayStation customers, as of December 31st, 2023, due to our content licensing arrangement with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your video library." And then there's a link to the whole list of stuff they're removing. That is insane. That is... First off, I'm angry that they're letting us know less than a month.
Yeah.
No warning. Well, they had to have known, or at least like give us time. And then also the fact that they can go in and it's like, oh, maybe you got delisted, but you downloaded it. No, they're removing it entirely from your console, and you paid for it, and they're not reimbursing you. They're not. It's another thing. Like we've been talking about this a while with digital stuff. Is you don't own this. You do not, unless you buy this physical. You don't own it. Companies can take it away from you whenever they want, and this is proof. It's in the pudding, dude.
Well, I think that's this isn't necessarily about Sony. Sony was kind of the reason to talk about this yet again, as we've been covering this over the last year or so on the channel. But to your point, people will say, well, if you just download a thing, because we've talked a lot about streaming.
Yes.
Well, in this case, this is a downloaded piece of material that gets removed, and this isn't exactly new territory for Sony either.
No.
A lot of people don't talk about this, but this has been in our comment sections. I have not personally had this happen to me. If you get the PlayStation Online membership, you get those 2 free games every month, right?
Yep.
If those games get delisted or lose their licensing, you lose those as well. So did you directly purchase them? I would say you indirectly purchased them. But that is a perk of having the membership.
That's why you sign up, is to get those free games.
Yeah.
And then those games go away. But this is like you legit clicked on something that interests you. Mythbusters.
Yeah.
How It's Made. Man vs. Wild. Honey Boo Boo. I don't know. A lot of stuff. That's,
one of your all-time favorites.
Yeah, I mean, season 2 is when it gets really good. But you went out of your way to buy something directly digitally. You maybe had it for a while, and then they're just like, nope, you're not going to be able to watch this anymore. Good luck.
Yeah, and I think the big importance here is that, I don't want to come off like we're ranting and raving, but you said before this, it's the Wild West.
Yeah, dude. It's because there's nothing in laws or anything. This is all new territory, so they can kind of do whatever they want because there's nothing that protects us as consumers.
Yeah, the precedent has not been set. So I would ask this, if this can happen, what is it any different than iTunes saying, well, we're not going to carry this song anymore because we had a falling out with this artist? And it's different than saying, we are pulling it from the iTunes store, meaning you can no longer purchase it. But then they say, we will make sure as soon as your system syncs to iTunes, or your iPod syncs to iTunes, or your iPhone, the content will be removed.
It removes it.
I think a big thing that we have talked about for a long time is nobody has thought about the long-term ramifications of a digital space. Yep. Everything is in the short term, the finite, the immediate, and nobody really cares, back in the day when they got a PS3 and they were just downloading games and they seen a game and they're like, man, you know what, I want that someday. And then they're like, oh crap, they might close the store. Now shit's starting to get real.
Now it gets real.
And we're seeing this over and over in so many different spaces that you're on a slippery slope in this digital world.
So they're doing this with just Discovery content because it's being owned by... But this is the ball rolling. The ball's already been rolling.
Yeah.
But what is going to stop them from being like, oh, this developer, we don't like them anymore, so all the games you bought from this person are now removed? Or all the games from this person? What's stopping them from doing that if they're able to do this? And without giving you any notice, you got less than a month, better watch them while you can.
Yeah.
Or I know you can download stuff illegally and you can still get it that way, but that's not the point. The point is that you paid money for something, and then they're just like, sorry.
And it doesn't matter to me how much you paid for it or how long you had it. It's the principle of the matter. I've got some WWF Hasbro figures up there. I'll tell you right now, if an old KB toy store manager walked in here and said, you've had it long enough, I'm going to take it back, I would beat his ass. Get out of my house.
It's mine. I bought it.
And I could give 2 shits about the Discovery Channel. I could give 2 shits about most of the shows on the Discovery Channel.
Shark Week.
Hey, okay.
Shark
You
Week.
got me there. But it's just the precedence that is being set here that this is an option.
Yeah.
This is an option, and I don't know how many people even really realize it or care. And then you could be sitting there watching this saying, well, that's why I buy all my stuff on Blu-ray.
Awesome. Great.
We do too. Okay. But isn't it funny that Sony is doing this, and Sony is the company behind Blu-ray?
Oh, that's weird. And guess what? They're releasing things that are now discless.
But they're the company behind Blu-ray.
So they're removing digital content and then also removing the option to watch the physical content.
Again, I'm not trying to be a Sony hater because I do. They make some questionable calls sometimes. I don't think this is insert company name here because this is regarding a licensing issue. My point is the framework of the digital space was built on a house of cards.
Yes.
It's not a Sony problem. It's not a Microsoft problem. It's not a Nintendo problem. The whole infrastructure of digital content was built on a house of cards with no scope or vision or end game of how it was going to work in the future. Yeah. That's the whole point.
And it's starting to freaking fall apart. Yeah. And people are like, oh, what's going on? Because you're going to have to subscribe to so many different things to get access to so many different things. And it's just going to become... I mean, we've already said it, but it's the wild. There's no control. There's no laws. There's nothing that protects anything. I'm sure, like, when you read and sign up for things, there's, like, clauses and stuff. It's like, yeah, you technically don't own it. Yeah. But it's still...
It's like the Human Centipede episode in South Park.
Yeah, you paid... the iPad. Yeah, it's so funny. But that's seriously what is happening. It's just like, oh, too bad. Buy it again on a different server or buy it again from a different company, because I think all this stuff is going to HBO or Max and stuff because they have a streaming site so you can watch it on there, but it's like, I already bought it, buy it again on a different thing. And then what if licensing again? What if Discovery launches their own app, then they remove it from HBO? You know what I mean? It's just like,
this is the most egregious like situation like this that really illustrates how handcuffed and out of control us as consumers are in this situation. It is not going to be pretty. I think legislation and all that stuff is going to have to really catch up to this. But if you think about politicians, they're all old as shit and they don't know what the hell's going on in the digital space anyways. They're like, how the hell do you work these text messages? Vote for me.
So, it's a great impersonation. But I guess it begs the question, like, where does this stop? You know, it's like, if it's starting with this, it's just going to keep going. Like, where does it end? It's going to keep just freaking snowballing and getting crazy and just ridiculous. And we're getting to a point where we have no control, no options, no, you know?
I think there's got to be a cognitive awareness from the consumer of when you are in the digital game, just understand you own nothing. And understand that it's a short-term deal. Now, if you grabbed season 1 of Mythbusters and you just wanted to watch it once and it was worth that price to you, okay.
Fine, yeah.
Wow, I just can't imagine that's the case.
Well, it now makes me, I used to be a big Sony kid growing up. Now I'm hesitant to buy anything digitally from Sony. But, I mean, Microsoft could start doing this. Nintendo could start doing this.
Yeah.
But Sony's the one doing it right now. It makes me hesitant to buy anything digitally because of the actions they're doing with the Discovery stuff. It's like, oh, I bought this digital game. Oh, sorry, we don't remove that from your library.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think it's just so important as we kind of bring this thing to a close, guys, is don't just get wrapped up in Sony here. Get wrapped up in the legal layers underneath why Sony would do this. It's a licensing agreement. Think about all the games that are not available for digital download because of licensed music. Think about all the licensed music and movie shows that have been changed on streaming services. Think about the infrastructure of digital media, whether it's video games, movies, or music. It is all built on an unsustainable model.
Yeah.
It just is.
And it's starting to freaking crumble,
yeah.
dude. And it sucks.
Yeah.
It's like this makes, I've already been upset about this physical digital stuff, but this like just makes me so angry. And it doesn't even, I don't have any Discovery stuff purchased, but it still makes me angry because I'm passionate about this topic.
It's the principle of the matter.
It's just like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not right at all. Yeah. And they just go, thank you for understanding.
Yeah, thanks for your continued support.
Fuck you.
I'll show you some continued support. Flop. But no, it's definitely important, and as physical media is totally tailing off, and Sony releasing consoles without disc drives, and they're the ones behind Blu-rays, and stores are. Yep. They want us in a spot.
They're trying to corner the market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
for
just,
sure.
We can start to see what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah, and if you can't, you're going to end up in a spot where something like this can or will happen to you, unfortunately.
You might not care about Discovery, but one day it's going to happen with something that you do care about.
Yeah.
And it's just like going to keep happening because
Yeah.
What can you do? It's just
might happen to your porn collection. Okay?
Yeah, dude. Let that shit physical. Go back to the magazine. You know.
Anyways, let us know in the comment section below what you think about this news. We will be back with our regular gaming related content later on in the week or the following week, whenever that comes out. But we wanted to talk about this because it's just another blow, and it's another thing that speaks to why physical media is so important. Digital media just does not seem to be sustainable. Time will tell. Yeah. Maybe we're just old guys outside shouting at the clouds.
I think it's important.
Well, this topic in particular is straight up bullshit.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys tuning in, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys freaking next time.